Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I have a son, Owen, who is 13 and has autism. We paint together, working on his fine motor skills. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings, and then I paint the rest. I'm laughing because my paintbrush is already not agreeing with me, and I wanted to just do this little, I'm gonna call it simple, even though this actually is technically very difficult for me, but it's kind of a test of my I won't say will skill, but not even really that. It's just these little circular motions, and I can never get them exactly right or where I want them, but we're just gonna, they're like little E's basically. And I was sitting here thinking I was gonna do one thing, and then I changed my mind. I decided that I was gonna do something a little more different. Ease. Excuse me. I wanted to test my E skill. I wanted to do a flower and the leaf, and so that's what this is kind of trying to be. So it's my skill. It's also probably my sleepiness. I keep falling asleep early and then waking up, and that's the remnants of the maintenance chemo infusions. They're not chemo, but I say chemo because it's kind of the easiest way to explain them. I'm done, but I got my last one on the 28th, and it usually takes about 3 weeks for me to start feeling kind of okay. And they're just hard. They're just hard. But I'm alive, and I'm breast cancer free, and there you go, you know. So anyways, I'm rethinking all of this right now. So we'll see how I end up dealing with my choices. Anyways, Owen had an incredible day. I had his IEP meeting, which is basically, if you're not familiar with it, with the special needs kids, sometimes they're called a little bit different, but it's basically a learning plan to make sure that he gets all of the things he needs at school to help him grow. And I take IEPs with a grain of salt. Absolutely, I think that every single child should get everything they need to be able to learn in the capacity that they need. But I also don't think that it should be such a stressful situation that these kids have to have something like that to be able to get that. And again, I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just thankful that Owen has had several teachers that fully believe in doing every single thing to get him to learn in his way without needing that piece of paper. And I can't stress enough that it's there for a reason, but it shouldn't have to be that paper that sparks that teacher to find that ground. And also the parents to help the process and not, help their children to be able to grow and learn and do the things that they need to do. So 100% we need some kind of system, but I don't, I feel fortunate that I don't have to rely on a piece of paper to have my son's needs met. That's probably not making the exact sense that I'm trying to make, but I'm very fortunate. I feel very fortunate that my son is in a position at a school that has gone out of their way to fully embrace my child without that piece of paper, even though he has that piece of paper, if that makes sense. I hope. Anyways, he's doing amazing. He's truly doing amazing. And then after school, it was basically his 6 month, he goes every 6 months for his teeth checkup, to the dentist. But it just happened, that I had one concern that happened over the, weekend, and he was not showing any signs of pain or any signs of conflict or anything. So I knew I could wait till his appointment on yesterday, Wednesday. And then he woke up yesterday with the opposite side of his mouth, which I could tell he bites the inside of his mouth a lot, the way he chews. And so he's gotten little, where you squish the inside of your mouth, you bite on it. And so he gets you get pain. So I knew we were going to the dentist today for his checkup, and so off he went to school, and he loves going to the dentist. He loves being there, and it was something he was telling different people at church on Sunday that he got to go to the dentist today. I mean, he just gets so happy about it. And so here we are. But thankfully, the part that I was concerned about was he chews on everything. He will pick up something and within a second, he will put it in his mouth. And he's not doing it quite as forcefully as he was doing it, but it's still constant. And, you can only keep so many things out of his reach, and it's like he's going through that toddler stage. I'm trying to decide what I'm doing with this because it's what I anticipated doing, not the extra lines here. But it's not what I was thinking I was going to do or what I was making it look like. So here we are, and I'm just going to change it up some. So anyways, the spot that I was concerned about was just some kind of transfer that wasn't, it wasn't coming off with the brushing and the flossing. She actually had to use, when she went to do his brushing, like, because she thought at first maybe it was like a break. It was still solid, so she thought maybe it was just like the edge um, um, of the tooth, like the extra growth or something. She explained it, and she's amazing, but I I didn't completely know. Well, I can't explain it again. But I was just thankful that she was able to then kind of brush it out with this high powered, the spreader, whatever that is. And thankfully, he didn't have any problems. And like I said, the other side was a sore where he either, hit it with something he chewed or like a potato chip or something that he was eating. So I feel like I should be doing finger painting or something. So I don't know that made it much better. Oh. There are some days when I just feel like I need to reevaluate what I'm painting. So we're going to add a little bug. Let's see what happens here. This is what happens when you're sleepy. It's also funny because some days I think I'm just going to do something very quick. And it turns out to be very slow. But that's the name of the game. So, but anyways, I was so relieved that it wasn't a break or a cavity, because he lets me brush his teeth every day, which that's a whole big sensory thing for him. And then he will even let me do flossing. So for him to let me do both of those, it's really good, because those are hard things. Ooh, I gotta sneeze. So I was quite pleased with how that all went today. And like I said, I'm his teachers and the staff. He just loves school, and that's half the battle, is going to school and loving it. And so for him to have this IEP, like I said, I know they need to have this, because it is for the best interest of the student. But I'm just thankful that I can go to these meetings, and his teacher points out all the amazing things he's doing and doesn't focus on the things that he can't do. Because, you know, I understand that there are restrictions and things that he's still learning and stuff, but take his strengths and let him know how much he's growing and is amazing. And that's what she does. And the staff, I mean, she'll tell me all the time, like, how he will if a random teacher's walking down the hall and he's in the hall going back to his classroom, he will take that teacher's hand and have them walk with him to their class. And it's just, to me, it's just a beautiful thing when a school will do so many wonderful. He is loved at that school, and it's great. It's amazing. Okay, so I could rethink this all night, but I'm not. We're doing this. This is what we're doing, folks. This is what we're doing. Sometimes we're just doing. And this is how things change. All right. So we sign O for Owen. And then L and B. So there we go. Thanks so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles, toodles.